I know exactly what they want. I know exactly what they want. Just be patient. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me, y'all keep the fame. I want the glory, been that nigga, bitches never ignored me. Rich in spirit, little bitch can't afford me. Day one static, fix it with a 4G, red beam on it. You think I'm recording, kicking front doors, you try to backdoor me. We are not a gang, bitch, we an army. Book a den, you know I don't tell stories. Keep it 100 in enlightenment. You niggas fake baby K name Adonis. Mini Drake, clip curl, but somehow I can shoot it straight. Insta clip, I can shoot 4 minutes straight. Turn this to the Super Bowl if I need to. I can hit your chief up with an eagle. Set you up on the score, but they lied to you. Why you letting them niggas mislead you? My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. You won't see it coming, I move like a crook, a thief in the night. So watch what you put, my aim precise. These bullets 12 inches long, a block away I could take off the foot. Don't ask me no questions if you know my stance. Bitch, I'm the man, so thanks in advance. They mean a rifle on top of a tripod. If they ever tell you I was taking a stand, think I run up on me, but I'm way too advanced. Spinning with choppers, turn you into a fan. Can show you the steps, but won't hold your hands. They thought they could stop me, it ain't go as planned. How I get this far, cause I took a chance. Really got ranked, keeping it a band. This ain't what you think, better think again. This ain't what you think, you better think again. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster.
Back roll.
Sharper than an ice pick on you rappers' necks, and it's feeling like some vice grips. Yeah, that's light shit. Send my bro a kite quick. Times of war, we ain't forget about you. Keep your light lit. Rappers can't see. Most of them scared to witness. Go and close your eyes. There's one right here for the trenches. Bad bitches, natural hair or extensions. Hood niggas that'll probably grip like some dentures. Brothers on them fences. 23 and 1 out. Praying that that commissary hit before it run out. Riches on the gram, dog filter with their tongue out. Couldn't stay home because they fouled the dugout. Closed casket, burner in the low jacket. My co-captain, riding on these whole rappers. My hoes fabulous. Now I don't mean that derogatory. and there's no more women riding for me. I avoided Maury, I got 2 jets. If I can't make it through for them, then I'm useless. Sit down that roof, Chris, with a couple bosses. After the war, just to count our losses. It's not many. You see a smile on my face, but I'm not friendly. Gone on my way, sipping white Henny. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on this war in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in this war in my whole life. My whole life. It's so melodic. When I be dropping this ebonics, this ghetto phonics, it got me on the level supersonic. My bomb atomic, and you know where you can find me. Somewhere probably folding this paper origami. My name is pure as the Sonny. My wave is like a tsunami. I went from 0 to 100, feeling like Ricky Bobby. I made a deal with the Reaper. Got a couple wives, they some keepers. Talk a lot of shit, but you can't walk a mile in my sneakers. Bitches go to Miami, come home with change features. Now she got a BBL, her ass fatter. Trying to show up all them niggas that laughed at her. Now when they see her, they only wanna fuck her. They just wanna touch her, they don't wanna cuff her. They just wanna come and kick it with her like a punter. Turned her to a runner, now it's all aboard the train. Fenty on her face, but it's not concealing the pain, it's a shame. So I'm in the hood like some rap snacks. I know niggas kill you and your mama for a scat pack. Dark tint, matte black, they do it for half that. Had you like 90s Missy in a fucking trash bag. I'm from Philly, we don't do bank accounts, just cash app. I spit a verse and I just watch the time slow. This that guy flow, this that shit that rappers die for. This that uncut Tahoe Wall straight from Pablo Escobar. I be at the bar like Moscato. They think it's effort, but no, this that block work. Make the countermeasures, take pleasures, making an op hurt. Lighters in the sky, cause every verse is a concert. My mind work at speed y'all can't fathom. Listen to the words of a champion. It can't, the streets need another anthem. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on this war in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in this war in my whole life. My whole life.
Yeah, play one more song and then play Round Table True.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my people. Yes, you said so. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Main fact of them here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage is safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom, we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it
It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is dish served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. That was designed fire for our babies to pass through it. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Captain Maul Quad of the Isupk, telling you to join us every Friday night, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central, for the Round Table of Truth, where we address the issues that affect Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians.
The Kansas City community protesting on Sunday after 16-year-old Ralph Yarl was shot as he was trying to pick up his siblings last week.
There are disturbing reports of indigenous women ending up missing or murdered in this country.
As you can see, I got my team with me. We attack these topics, bring out the truth, the home of the truth, under Commander Jimmy Hunter, Isupk.
All right, clap it up. This is Isupk's Southern Illinois Brotherhood class for Tuesday. Wait. Let me see if I can get it on here. So, Lockie, 1 second. This. I want to try to remove the whole thing. We just remove the whole thing. So, and then what I'll do is I'll take it off here. There we go. All right, we good to go? Yes. Slot it. All right. Again, let's clap it up. This is the Isupk, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And of course, this is the Southern Illinois Brotherhood class. We here to wake up Blacks and Hispanics, North American Indians, to their true culture according to the Bible. Before I get into class, I do want to give a shout out to First Commander Junior Hana and Captain Maul Quad, who's putting on an excellent event with the Midwest Fire Weekend, which will be Thursday, July 27th, and then it'll end with the actual cookout Sunday the 30th. That'll be July 30th. So, definitely big hand to Commander Junior Hana and Captain of 13,000, Captain Mao Quad, who is hosting this excellent event. You don't want to miss out. We have, General Mayak is doing his podcast, Ashley the Prophets, on Thursday with breakfast. We sit down and eat breakfast with the general while he's doing his podcast. That same day we have General Mahaiman's class, which he'll do the scripture breakdown class later on that day. After that, we have Captain Tazariak across the line that same day. So, of course, a fun-filled packed day that day. The next day after that, we'll have camp on the Magnificent Mile. If anybody knows about Chicago, the Magnificent Mile is the tourist attraction. There's going to be a lot of feet on the ground down there, and we should have an excellent day. That same day, we'll have Commander Junior Hana's lecture. The lecture should be off the chain as well. Of course, we know how Commander Junior Hana does it. And then, of course, after that, you have the actual cookout. All Blacks, Hispanics, and North American Indians, you are invited to come to the Midwest Cookout. We have live performances. We have things for the children, you understand, and food and drinks, and just come and chill and have an excellent time with brotherhood and sisterhood. All right.
That's right.
Of course, this is the Oppressors Independence Day. We just end up going through what we believe to be our Independence Day, what they call Juneteenth. And then now you have a whole city of Blacks, Hispanics, and North American Indians that are celebrating the independence of the same oppressor who was the ones who you just celebrated your independence from a couple of weeks back, which makes no sense to me. I never understood how you can celebrate Juneteenth and celebrate the 4th of July. They are a perfect contrast to one another. But yet, of course, Blacks and Hispanics, what we love to do more than anything is party. Even in slave times, our favorite moments in slavery, if you can say we had it, was when our slave master allowed us to, get together, drink, and eat and have fun and enjoy one another. And of course, they use that as a tool to fish you guys into not realizing that you was in oppression. So for this one day, out of many of abuse, you had a time to be able to numb the pain of slavery and numb the pain of the things that the oppressor was doing to you. And that one day you appreciate it so much that you continue to want to be in oppression for the rest of the days that you were in slavery. This one day allowed you enough joy to say, maybe the oppressor ain't as bad as I thought he was. You understand? And because of that, we celebrate the 4th of July. We celebrate the independence of the oppressor who put us in chains. If they were not made independent, quite possibly we wouldn't have had these 400 years of slavery. Quite possibly. But yet, since they became independent, we became slaves for 500 years. And yet, in that time, we still haven't understood that this slavery is what's destroying us. Right. You understand? If you could, Baba Shah, let's go. Go ahead. You got something?
Huh?
You got something?
Oh, lie.
Lock it. If you could, the title of the class. Let me get back on now. Get back to my. Mm-hmm. So the name of the class is Our Independence Come From Following God's Laws. This is the only way that we will be independent from this so-called oppressor. This is the only way that we will find the independence that we've been for so long looking for. Our independence does not come from the oppressor. Can never give us our independence. You know why? Because the oppressor doesn't want you to be independent. If you become independent, then who cuts his grass? If you become independent, who fills up his plantations and for you to make him a billionaire? If you become independent, we saw when in the 1920s, when America was in its Great Depression, Black society was growing at an immaculate rate.
That's right.
In the 1920s, when they were going through a great decline in their economic world, our economic world was being built and was becoming so far advanced that once it got into the advancement that it became, they decided to drop bombs on it. You understand? Then this is what the oppressor does to us. And we put ourselves in that position because we won't follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. When we lost our culture, we lost our law. We lost our constitution. Our constitution comes out of the Bible. You understand? Salakia. And I got my Salakia. I don't know how I can forget. I got my main man, Officer of 1,000, a Ramawan that's going to be holding down, just reading for me today. You understand? We both, of course, none of us in the nation of Israel had anything to do today because everybody's at home kicking their feet together out of slavery because, of course, we do not celebrate this horrible, disgusting day that celebrates the independency of the people who has oppressed and abused us for 400 years. So, of course, what better to do than to spend time with your brother and the brothers in Isupk during class? And let's talk about how not only these disgusting oppressors have put us in chains and dealt with us, but how we can get out of it. How do we fix the problem? How do we get our independence? You understand? Salaki, if you could, give me Deuteronomy 28:1. Let's start there. Let's start in Deuteronomy 28:1.
Oh, God.
And you can start whenever you're ready.
Oh, God. What's in Christ? It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28. Start at verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just clicked out of it. 28, verse 1. Right, click out. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Now it says it shall come to pass. So this will happen, that if you hearken diligently. What does it mean to do to be diligent? Because we say this in the school all the time. We say this brother has been diligent in his work for the Lord. Like, what does it mean to be diligent? You know what it means to be diligent? Look it up for me. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, to be diligent means, like, if you diligent in your work, that means it ain't something that, you know, somebody have to ask you to do. You just do it because you just want to do it. You love to do it. It's the diligence. You can kind of put it with almost zeal. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The zeal and diligence. You hear that a lot in the UPK. Mm-hmm. Zeal and diligence, because they go hand in hand. It's like when you're doing the like your diligence is for the Most High. Like, nobody got to tell you to do the work. Mm-hmm. Nobody got to tell you to not follow 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't got to tell you to, don't sleep with your brother's rib. You know what I'm saying? Because you just love the truth so much that you're going to continue to do this work. It's like zeal and almost diligence go together in a way. But I will give you the definition that I have as well. It's like it. I don't know why I keep going off on me. Okay. So the definition for diligence is careful and persistent work or effort. So to careful and persistent work, and here's another one. So like it, diligence means attention or care required.
And so when we say when the Bible says you have to hearken diligently into the voice of the Lord, what is that saying when it's saying that you have to do it diligently?
Well, you got to care about the Lord's work. You actually have to, do the Lord's work. And that's why I said it has to have zeal behind it. You actually have to do the work of the Lord, and you have to care about it. It can't be something that you do like your job. A lot of people go to their jobs, and when they go to their job, they just say, "Hey, I'm just coming here to make money." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you're doing the business of the Lord, the diligence of the Lord is a lot different than your job, because when you go to your job, you try to do something for yourself.
Right.
When you're doing the diligence of the Lord, you doing that for your people. It has nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with yourself or being self-gratified. It has to do with your people. It has to do with losing your family. It has to do with love, a love that's not an emotion, but love that is something that that you're going to find out what it really is when you come into this truth. So it's lucky.
No, you absolutely correct. So when it said you have to do it with care, when you care for something, think about caring for a baby. Think about caring for an infant. When you care for an infant, you pay attention to every single detail, because one wrong move can be the destruction of this young child. You understand? So when the Lord said that you have to hearken diligently into what his commandments, it means you have to pay so close attention to it, have so much care for it, that you do it in which you don't fail doing it. Because if your infant gets hurt, to you feel like you failed as a parent, right? You have to think the same way when you're doing the things that the Lord tells you to do. You have to have so much care for it that you will not allow it to fail. You understand? Read.
To the voice of the Lord, thy God.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
To observe
and
to do all his commandments.
And to do what?
All his
commandments. Some of his commandments.
All his commandments.
You Christian pastors are some disgusting pigs, man. You go in the Christian church and you tell blacks and Hispanics that you do not have to follow all the laws, that the laws are done away with. When the Deuteronomy 28:1 says you have to hearken, observe, and do all of his commandments. Not only do you have to listen, observe, and to do them. You have to do all three things. But yet you Christian pastors is telling blacks and Hispanics that you can eat pork. Not only do you tell them you can eat pork, right in between that second service, everybody get together and y'all have a swine fest. It's bacon in the macaroni and cheese. It's pork in the greens. It's pork chops. Bishop Pork Chop, he get the first pork chop, of course. And you tell these blacks and Hispanics something that is destroying their lives on a daily basis.
That's right.
Because you told them that the laws are done away with, homosexuality has run rampant in the black and Hispanic neighborhood. Because you told blacks and Hispanics that the laws were done away with, we are the highest with high blood pressure and diabetes and heart ailments, cancer. We are the highest. We have the highest rate of AIDS, when the oppressor is 10 times more LGBTQ than we are. It's more of them than it is of us. Yet we're the highest in it. You understand? And this all stems from one. Of course, the oppressor has beat this into them. But you Uncle Toms that fell for the trick to destroy your people. Now you see today what you have done to our people.
Yeah, right.
You understand? Read.
Come, cousin. Which I commanded thee this day, that the Lord, thy God, will set thee.
Now, here is your independence, black man, Hispanic man in North America, Indian man, woman, and children. Everybody's waited for the Juneteenth of June 19th. Everybody's waited for July 4th to celebrate your independence. How can you be independent when you're in slavery? When you're under somebody else's oppression, under somebody else's government that their forefathers built? How are you independent? How you gonna be independent when you're relying on somebody else's government for you to be successful? Go ahead.
Just so heavy. I put up a post earlier, right? And it said, just imagine Japanese people right now, right? When August 6th and August 9th come, that this is the commemorative day. I think this happened in 1945. The commemoration of the atom bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Just think about the Japanese people, all with red, white, blue flags on, celebrating. You know what I'm saying? The atom bomb that happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Like, if I said that, a lot of black people say that sounds dumb. Why would they celebrate them dying? Like, they got destroyed. That's the same way we look today. July 4th, it's the same way we look. If I said that same thing,
right?
We look like fools sitting out here wearing American flags, thinking we proud to be American, when you have continuous violence against our people,
right?
But still getting unarmed black men, just like Christ, still getting shot down in our neighborhood. Our women being raped and our women being taken. Like, we don't even go to the Native Indian reservations. Go to the Native Indian reservations. You're gonna realize something. They don't know where 50% of their women are. They women are getting taken. Like you proud to be an American, and your people are being destroyed right in front of your face. It's lucky.
No, you are absolutely right. You understand? Just think about the Jews, the so-called Jewish man celebrating the Holocaust. You understand? This is what Black are doing today. We are celebrating our own Holocaust. So just think about celebrating the day Germany became independent. Like how dumb does that sound? These people, if they wouldn't have become independent, they wouldn't have never put y'all in torture chambers if they didn't ever get their independence. So why are we celebrating the independence of the so-called white man? I'll tell you why. Because we feel like if we join with them, then we can be free like them. But one thing that you don't understand, their forefathers built the foundation for them. You understand? They didn't build a foundation for us. We just like that friend who can come over. We can eat with them, we can drink with them, but we can't do all the things that the family can do. We still held in bondage, and we just don't even know. This is systematic oppression that a lot of people do not understand. Is systematic oppression. We think because now we can vote, now we can go to Macy's, now we can go, to the finest restaurants and not get, lynched. Now we feel like that, we are a part of the family. When the so-called the oppressor knows that we're not a part of their family. It was a heathen that I saw on Facebook, and I think it was a brother who was interviewing. He was like, "Do you think Juneteenth is necessary?" She said no, which I agreed with. Of course, we agree that Juneteenth is not needed. For her reason, it was different than ours. Of course, she said because don't they already got enough? We gave them a whole month. A white man don't have a month, although the oppressor has every day. She said they got a month. So do they really need Juneteenth? And then she was like, well, the Jews don't got anything, and they were in Holocaust. They were in slavery. And I don't hear them complaining. Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Oppressor. The Jew, when the so-called Jewish man got out of Holocaust, he got a land to move to. He didn't have to sit under the foot of his oppressor. He didn't have to look at the person who committed crimes to him in their face every single day. Think about putting a rape victim in a room with a rapist and making them sleep in the same room every single day. That's what's happening to Blacks, Hispanics, and North American Indians. And we've become so numb to the fact now that we don't even remember we've been raped. Go ahead.
Like if I may, and then on top of it, you talk about a Jewish man. Like the Jewish man is the richest man in. I'm gonna just tell you, I'm from Chicago. The richest people in Chicago are Jews or right. Jewish. The fake, the so-called Jew-ish. You know what I'm saying? So we can talk about the Holocaust all you want to. They might have died, but they didn't die to go in death. They died to go into their heaven, which they was in before that. That's how you know them not the people of the Bible, because in the Bible says that the people that's gonna be in bondage, they're gonna be in bondage by everybody, not just by Hitler. They ain't just gonna be in bondage by Hitler. Only story you could ever hear about the Jewish man is about the Germans, putting them in bondage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't hear about in Puerto Rico they in bondage. In Africa, they're in bondage. In every other continent or country in the world, they're in bondage. But the only people that are the 12 tribes of Israel, which are the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, which are in bondage every single area of the world.
Right.
So, we can sit here and talk about the fact that the Jews, they had their Holocaust. Okay. I don't care about it, to be honest with you. I can care less. But at the same time, it's time for us as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to stop talking about other people and start worrying about our own.
Damn right. You can go ahead and finish that verse off. I'm gonna show you this is our independence. Go ahead.
God. which I commanded thee this day,
Mm-hmm.
that the Lord thy God will set thee on high.
On where?
On high.
Now you think you independent right now? This is not independence. This is us coping with our bondage. This is us finally saying, you know what? Either if we can't beat them, join them. This is what the ideal of the average Black, Hispanic, and North American Indian man is, because we've been down to such a low point for so long that just a little something that lets us know that they care for us. Just a little something. When the Most High God said, what? Read that at the end again.
Come, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high.
The Lord wants our independence, but when we get our independence is going to put us on top of every nation on the face of the earth. Black and Hispanic and North American Indian man, that's the independence you should be waiting for.
That's right.
Not the independence that the oppressor is telling you that you independent, but yet they still shoot you down in the streets like a dog.
Damn right.
So where's the independence? You still 3/5 of a man in the Constitution, black man. So where's the independence? Somebody tell me where you independent at. But nobody can answer the question because we're drunken with the way of the oppressor, with the way of America, which is spiritually Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. Homosexuality in the black neighborhoods is at an all-time high. And at one point in time, it was almost, if I'm not mistaken, it was almost a shame to even bring yourself out to say you was a homosexual. You had some type of respect for the Lord, because most preachers, they would disown you.
Like, if I may, that's just so heavy you brought that out. If I may, Baba, only for your Baba.
No, you got it.
Most of those brothers that was homosexual, that was hiding, their fathers was preachers.
Mm-hmm.
Their mothers was preachers.
Right.
They was in the church 2-3 times a week. Like, and that's so heavy because it just lets you know how much Christianity deformed what the Lord made. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot.
You absolutely correct. And everything that the Lord said to do, the Christian church is doing the exact opposite. You understand? The Lord. So here's the problem. The Bible does say come as you are. We all agree that the Bible says come as you are. This is an absolute fact. But here's the point. When you come as you are, you should be coming to fix yourselves. The Christian church allows you to come as you are and never fix yourself and never change who you are. When you're supposed to be throwing away that old man when you come to serve the Lord, you're supposed to be throwing him away. If I'm a homosexual, I'm supposed to be throwing that person away. If I'm a murderer, I'm supposed to throw him away. A drug dealer, throw that person away. You ain't supposed to go into the Christian church and just be, whatever you want. You want to know why half the Christian churches choirs is homosexuals? Because when you come as you are, the pastor, you paying your tithes to him, he'll let you be whoever you are. But in the Isupk under Commander Junior Honda, we've learned the remedy. The remedy is come as you are and we'll fix you.
That's right.
The medicine is brotherhood. You understand? The water. And that's what we have to keep on telling ourselves. Only way to fix blacks and Hispanics, man, is to let them know, in order to serve the Lord, you have to change who you are. You have to be the person the Lord has ordered you to be. You understand? You cannot come in here and be a drug dealer, kill, and still be a murderer. You have to come in here with the intentions of fixing you so you can fix your people. Every man, black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man in the Isupk and woman has been doing. We have been in here trying to fix our people. Of course, the sisters is amazing. Without them, we would be, we would be lack of energy of men. They are just so much of our energizer. You know what I'm saying? They make sure the brothers eat. They make sure the brothers is, in great condition before we go to war. And that's what we need in this kingdom. You understand? The kingdom that we waiting to get. Go ahead, keep reading that.
Verse 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee.
And all these blessings shall come over you and overtake you. Read.
If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy
Go ahead.
Verse 3. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field.
You know how you have the city, you have Chicago, you have New York, you have Atlanta, you have Texas, you have California, LA, California. Right now, blessed in LA. We're not blessed in New York. We're not blessed in Chicago. We are very. Does it look like it? The news tells different. If you believe that we're blessed out here, then the news tells me different. Because in the city of Chicago, we are in shambles. Unfortunately, in which I hate to say this, but there will be many deaths tonight because they chose to celebrate the oppressor's holiday.
That's right.
There will be many deaths amongst our people. And I hate to say it, but it's going to happen. Read.
Common Con, verse 4.
Go back. Blessed
like
in the city.
Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field.
In the fields, you gonna go down there to Mississippi, to Alabama, to Arkansas, in the countryside where there is no big city, where there's fields of corn, and you're not only will you be blessed in the city, you will be blessed in the field too. We know that we are not blessed down south either. We're not blessed in the city. We're not blessed in the country. We're not blessed nowhere. Anywhere that we lay our heads at, we are not blessed there because we decided not to follow the laws. Read.
Verse 4. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy ground.
You know what? Jump straight to 15. Yeah.
Book of Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass if thou shalt not hearken unto the voice of the thy God.
Here we go. Now we're talking about the other side of things. If you decide not to hearken to the voice of the Lord your God, this is now we get into the meat and cheese of the scripture. Go ahead.
God, to observe, to do all his commandments.
To do what?
To do all his commandments.
He said this before. Read. And this remind me of when your daddy say, how many times I got to tell you, boy? He just said this in verse 1. Now he's coming back to say this in verse 15. So he keeps reiterating that you have to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. Read.
God. And his statutes, which I commanded thee this day.
Yep.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
And what?
And overtake thee.
Now I don't even want. I'm going straight to where I wanted to go at in the first place. Go to 43.
God. It's the book of Deuteronomy 28:43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
This is what stranger is they talking about? The oppressor. Stranger can it goes back to something being strange, not the things that you do. You know, they don't do the same customs as you. They don't have the same history as you. So they are considered strangers because they are where you're from. This says that the oppressor is gonna get above you high. You understand? Not only high, you're gonna get above you very high. Read.
God. Verse 44. He shall lend to thee.
You missed something.
And thou shalt come down very low.
Now the oppressor is going to go up high, and you're going to go down. You in a high state at first. In order for them to get very high above you, you had to be higher than them to go down lower. Read.
Verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
How is he lending to us, but we're not lending to him? Go ahead.
I mean, he's giving to us because he owned everything. He owned every goddamn thing in the damn world. You know what I'm saying? But we don't own nothing, so we can't lend to him. We can't give him nothing. He can own it. We have to beg him for everything.
That's exactly right. And not only that, who do you get your house from? The oppressor. Like your mortgages go through the oppressor. Your car loans go through the oppressor. For you to be able to send your kids to school, it goes through the oppressor. You understand? Now, why is this so important? Because we, at one point in time, we had our own businesses. We had Tulsa, Oklahoma. We had all these Charlotte, North Carolina. We got a city out here in Illinois called Robbins, Illinois, which was one of the first all black established towns in Illinois. And there was nothing that was in there but blacks. You understand? And they had first black airport, first black banks. All those things in Illinois was ours. But then what happened? Of course, like any other place that has black and Hispanics dwelling in it, the oppressor comes and he throws a monkey wrench in our operation. And that's what happened in this town, along with Tulsa, Oklahoma, in North Carolina, and all these other places that we had what you would call a high-class society of blacks that were running these areas. You understand? Read.
Come. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
Now, it was one point in time in the Bible when we were the heads. There was one point in time where we ran the world. But now, because we chose not to follow what our power told us to follow, now we've become the tail. We've become the thing. You know why they call it a tail? Because the tail is that thing that's dragging in the end. It's dragging in the ground. It's just dragging on the dirt. It's that one little part of the body that no one really cares about. And that's what blacks and Hispanics have been. Blacks, Hispanics, North American, hell, North American Indians were the true residents of the Americas at one point in time, and no one knows where they are now. No one knows where to find a Native American Indian except for Commander Johanna and the Isupk. How do I know? Because we go there. We know where our brothers are. We know what condition they're in now that they weren't in before the oppressor came and stole their land. You understand? We've been to these reservations, and around one, this is one of the things that really it really surprised me when we went to the reservations. These people still know their history.
Mm-hmm.
They know who they were before the oppressor came. These stories have been passed down all the way from 500, 600 years from when the white man came over and took their land. You would just be surprised. Well, why do you think we still know who we are?
So
go ahead.
Just to bring up a point, they was it might have been 5, 6, maybe even 7 people came, like Native American Indians at this in the reservation.
Mm-hmm.
They had the double down on their neck,
right,
when they was there, and it kind of surprised us because we didn't even know they knew what it was, but they came through and they had it literally on their neck.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When they came through,
which is extra heavy, because this just tells you that the history of God's people will never go away. Before the slaves, spoke to Abba Bivens and things get passed down through all those 7 heads and eventually up to Commander John Johanna, there were people who still knew who we were. Not only that, there were Native American Indians who knew who they were, knew that they had the same background. You understand? In today's time, all of those people who had some birthright of being the Lord's chosen people, all of us are destroyed right now. You understand? The Dominicans, the Haitians, you understand, the South Americans, Colombia, and all of those people had some stakes in, because they were the lost tribes of 12 tribes of Israel, and all of them are in poverty and in bondage.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that is? Because the oppressor know who the children of the Lord is, and as long as they keep it hidden by calling that funky white man from over in who's occupying our country and our land right now, as long as they keep them in that high place, we'll never know who we are.
And Salaki, if I may, it's so heavy because a lot of people like dwell on that. Let's go back to Israel. Let's go back to Africa type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to understand. So the Bible say we the salt of the earth for a reason. You heard black people say the earth is our turf.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they say that all the time. Like, that's real talk.
Right.
The earth is our turf. The Most High gave us this whole land. You know what I'm saying? He gave it to Adam, that should have progenerated all the way through us. You know what I'm saying? We didn't make the right mistake. I mean, the right decisions. And, we continuously go through these curses because we just don't follow words.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's crazy. Like, when we actually think about it, we just don't follow words.
Right.
The Bible tells you what exactly to do, but you allow an oppressor to tell you that, oh, the Bible is man-made.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it is man-made, so it's your history book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But you follow that, but they
You
follow
follow it
that
to the T.
And that's the thing. Here's the even big. I don't mean to cut
No,
you
you
off.
all good.
Here's the even crazy thing about it. They'll follow. They say they love the Lord in that Christian church. The Christian those parishioners in that Christian church are, to them, they are diehard. Love the Lord, love Jesus. Jesus is my help. But don't listen to not one word that that God says to do. Not one word. They don't listen to not one. As soon as the Christian pastor says, everybody listen to the sound of my voice right now, turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, you do that to a T.
Well, the AB and selection. Don't let the AB selection come up.
You understand? They do all. Look, for the pastor, they'll do anything. They'll do anything for the pastor.
You talking about the same?
No, go ahead. You got it.
I was gonna say you talking about the same pastor that we ain't got the video of that, do we?
We may.
I'm gonna try to pull it up. We'll show you what kind of pastor you got, and we're gonna tell you how happy 4th of July is. This was your wife doing for 4th of July.
and look, the Christian pastor he's achieved what he wanted to achieve. What he's been taught by and what he's being paid for, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's earning his honest day pay by destroying blacks, Hispanics, and North American Indians. All he had to do is say words. But when the Lord say words, you don't hearken to those words. This is why in Deuteronomy 28, it is so important that you understand that he said if you have to hearken unto the voice of the Lord. There's going to be many false prophets that come to you and say that you ain't that the laws are done, that you can eat pork now because Jesus came and sacrificed himself so you can start sinning again, which is absolutely the most retardedest thing I can never think of. Why? Like, if I'm coming to prove a point for my father, why would I die so you can do exactly what my father don't want you to do? Why would you die? Why would I die so you can go and do everything you want to do, even though I had to do things the correct way? I had to be perfect so you can be imperfect. I wish a Christian pastor could break that part down for me.
Yeah, right.
How can I follow a man who has been perfect and say I can eat shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster when he said I didn't come to destroy the law or the prophets but to fulfill them? Why don't your Christian pastor tell you those things in the Bible that says that? Because your Christian pastor is trying to game you, man. And because he's gaming you are losing your independence. Because the Christian pastor, under the authority of the oppressor, he has the authority to destroy black people. He's being paid to do it. He is not God's prophet. You know what? These black and Hispanic North American Indian men that is under the authority of Commanding General Yohana, we are the true prophets here to get our independence back for blacks, Hispanics, and North Americans. We are the ones who are looking to, see our king return. So our independence is celebrated. Yes, we'll celebrate. We'll have an Independence Day once Christ returns. Then we'll celebrate. Then we can put, all the lawful foods you want on the grill. Then we can sit and talk amongst each other and say, you remember when we wasn't, you know what Independence Day is for the oppressor? They talk about how they became a free nation. Well, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to have strong drink with brothers and sisters. Our little kids is going to be running around not worried about not one gun going off. And we're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate the independence that we got from the oppressor who have oppressed us for over 500 years. You understand? You got that video? Watch this disgusting piece of art, man.
I don't know if you got to turn it up a little bit. There you go.
The rest of the congregation, Bishop Jones, and the whole jurisdiction that would know about it. I'm exposed to Yeah, so basically, long story short, I'm over here at the Holiday Inn Express. I'm here because my wife's been cheating on me. With our pastor, Pastor Leon Mitchell.
Whoa.
Pause
it right there. Salaki. This is obviously this is a parishioner from the church. And what this parishioner is saying is that he just caught his wife cheating on him with the pastor. Now this pastor got this lady in a whole hotel room, man, a whole hotel room. So as much as you following this path, look, the Christian church is for the woman. It's for your wife to get gain. This is a snake. This is just like the serpent in the garden. They know they can get to you by getting to your wife. Now this Christian pastor who was so-called supposed to be building up black families, he's going to be the reason that him and his wife divorces. He has committed a sin, and he's supposed to be the one who's telling you not to commit sins. This Christian pastor is supposed to be the one protecting the lives of black and Hispanic people, but yet he's sitting here sleep with another man's wife, man. And the man, of course, the brother, he probably investigated. He probably saw too many texts coming through that said Pastor, whatever, Keith Williams, I think they said his name was, Pastor Keith Williams. He probably just kept scrolling down and screaming, bling, 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 bling. And he was like, oh, no, I got to check this phone out, man. This just too many texts coming from this one person. And he figured it out. Now he's being caught in this room with this Christian, she's being caught in the room with this Christian pastor who, of course, she's under, not only in the church, but in this hotel room. Go ahead.
Found out I went through a phone last night. She left it unlocked. You know
tell me I ain't a prophet. Let me tell you, man. I tell you I'm a prophet.
2 months or so. Yeah, so they've been involved heavily.
That's it. Tell you I'm a prophet of the Lord. I just said the text messages was coming down. He said I saw it he just said I saw it in her phone. And I had to just go check it out. He said he was just snooping through her phone. She was getting too many texts from Pastor Williams. And he's like, I had to figure it out for myself. Go ahead, Salaki. I just wanted to bring that out because I just called him.
So she doesn't know that I went through a phone, and I seen that they were supposed to meet up today at the Holiday Inn Express. So I made it over here. I've been following her. She's in the back somewhere. She can park the car trying to be slick, so no one will notice it. Notice she's at the hotel or something like that. But me, I'm just waiting on her. She's coming from the back, so whenever she comes to the front, I'm confronting her about it because that's not, I do everything for this woman. I pay all the bills and everything. And she doesn't need for anything. Now she's over here sleeping around with the pastor out of all people. You know what I'm saying? It is.
This brother just
right. She is right.
Pause that for me. Now this brother just said, I pay for everything. He said, I do everything I can for her. I pay for everything. And I take care of her. I can't believe she would do this to me. Well, let me tell you something. There's no stronger game than the game of a Christian pimp. The Christian pastor is a pimp. He's your neighborhood pimp. I don't know if y'all realize that. You remember Jerome off Martin? Your Christian pastor is Jerome. You think that your Christian pastor is there because he loves God? Well, that's not the case. Your Christian is there one thing and one thing only: to destroy your family, to make your children homosexuals and think nothing of it. They're there to rape your sons. How many times we heard of Christian pastors raping little boys? The Catholic Church is your father, you black pastor. Why do you think you have a lust for boys? Because you're the same men who taught you in theologian school, the same ones who was rubbing on your arms and telling you how you such a good boy, you such a good pastor. Them was the same ones that taught you how to be skillful at pimping the black man and woman, Hispanic man and woman.
Yeah, right.
And today, you see that with the video the brother just showed you, man. He said, I was just going through a phone because it felt that I kept seeing, he kept seeing evidence that geared him towards, look, I got to look at this phone now. And once he looked at it, he found the address. They said they were supposed to be meeting up at the Holiday Inn. And here's the thing about it. The pastor having another woman is not what I'm knocking. This is not the issue. Just get your own. Get your own woman. Why? The Bible says you ain't supposed to have a lust for your brother, your neighbor's wife. But yet he went and slept with his brother's wife. So I mean, look. Of course, we in the Isupk, man. Of course, you can have multiple wives. The Bible does not say you can't. It doesn't say you have to. It doesn't say you have to have a wife at all. But if you're gonna have one or two or three, have your own.
Damn right.
You understand? Sloggy, go ahead, read that. Read what else you got.
Come on, sir. First, Salakia.
44.
No, we doing 44. Come on, Salakia. I'll hit what you know. Verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
Go ahead.
Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
Until what?
Till thou be destroyed.
And you know when you were destroyed, Black and Hispanic and North American Indian man? Do you? It was June 19th, 1865, the Emancipation of Proclamation. You know, when they took the chains off us, they didn't take the chains off us knowing that we were going to be able to build ourselves up. They took the chains of bondage off us because they knew that we were already destroyed. They knew that there was nothing else they needed to do to keep us in the same low state that we are in today. The day we became destroyed was Juneteenth. We celebrate the day of our physical bondage because we transitioned into our spiritual bondage, which is now us celebrating the same oppressor who put us in bondage, is independence. Now, how silly does that sound, Robert Wanda? If you don't know that you were destroyed in June 19th of 1865, Slovakia, then why can't we just go? I hear a lot of you black say we just go back over to Africa. Why haven't you? Go to Africa. Why haven't you? You talk a big talk, you bark that big bark, but you cannot go because you are under somebody else's control. That's right. Even all you fake Israelite groups who say we'll just go back to the motherland, they tried that, and guess what they're doing over there? Now guess what's happening to those same people who thought that you can leave your oppression and go over into to the land of Israel. You're in bondage too. You're in slavery too. They made you go into the military just to stay over there.
So Larry,
go ahead.
It's just so heavy, and it's kind of a story. And I know it's me and you. I want to it's kind of a story. You remember we had a small dog back in the day named Frisky. We got him young, right? And when he got older, he kind of started getting a little out of order, jumpy, doing stuff. He kept getting out all the other things he wanted to do. So we drove him far, out of the town. Like we took him 20, 30, maybe 30 miles, 40 miles away from the town for what we stayed at. And we said, okay, we finally got rid of this dog. The dog came back.
We let the dog loose. So we let the dog loose in like in a forest preserve type of deal. Okay. We're like, man, we hope you find this way. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we were young, so don't get me. We're not animal abusers. Don't get me wrong. We were young, and we made a decision that we wouldn't make now in our older age. But the point of the story is that we sent this dog 30 miles into the forest, away from our house, and hours later, this dog has found his way back to our house. And this is the same thing that's happening with blacks and Hispanics.
Damn right.
You understand? No matter how far how far you pull them away, they're always gonna come back to good old master because it's all they know. We don't have to put a chain on him to keep him in. We don't have to put a bondage and shackles on his feet and a yoke or iron around his neck to keep these blacks and Hispanics in. That's what the so-called that's what the oppressor knows. Right. Because no matter what you do, you always gonna come back to daddy. You're always gonna come back to papa. And that's because you're destroyed.
That's right.
That is the destruction that the Bible is speaking of. He's talking about the destruction of you don't have the mental capacity to do your own thing because all you know is what your oppressor wants you to do. That's all you know. And that's why all you blacks and Hispanics are celebrating Independence Day today. You understand? Read what you got.
Come. Overtake the till thou be destroyed.
Until what?
Till thou be destroyed.
Give me that next one.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandments.
So what?
To keep his commandments.
There you go again. That Christian pastor told you that the law was done away with. Well, God said you have to keep his commandments. This is what God said. Stop listening to Reverend Porkchop, Bishop Porkchop, because he's lying to you. God said that you have to keep his commandments, or a lot of destruction is going to come to your people, which we are watching in full view with our own eyes today. Because we decided to listen to somebody to say that the laws were done away with, when God, in contrary, says that they're not. Keep them forever. You understand? Read.
Come. To keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
What should be upon you for a sign and a wonder? Go ahead.
Not only, the curses.
That's exactly what we're talking about. You know how we know that blacks, Hispanics, and North American Indians are the people in this Bible? Because the curses is happening to them. The Haitians, the curses is happening to them. The Dominicans, the Jamaicans, the brothers over in UK, the curses is happening to them. How do we know who the people in the Bible is? If the Bible said it's going to be for a sign and a wonder. So of course, when everybody says, well, how do you know who the people of the Bible is? How do you know that you're that? Because the Bible says that you will be brought into Egypt again with ships. There's only one people who was brought into captivity with ships. And even the native Indians who were down here, and the natives who were the so-called Mexicans right now, and the Puerto Ricans, you know what I'm saying? They were carried into different countries. Blacks weren't the only one who were brought over in ships into their captivity. Puerto Ricans got took from the port of their rich port. Puerto Rico means rich port. They were brought from their rich port to other places too.
Yeah, right.
The Hispanics, the so-called Mexicans today, and the native Indians today were taken from their land and brought to other countries too. They were separated. So how do you know who the people are? Because the Bible says that these curses are going to be on you for a sign and a wonder.
Right.
We're going to go into some of these curses that's a sign and a wonder. This is how we know who we are. Read.
Come. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and wonder, for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Drop to 48.
Come, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Say, serve who?
Thine enemies.
Now we say join hand in hand and everybody should come together. But the Bible called them your enemies. The Bible didn't say you're going to serve your best friend, your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? He said you're going to serve your enemies. Read.
Which the Lord shall sin against thee.
Which the Lord shall sin against you. Now, the only reason you lost is because you wasn't following the laws. That if you were doing what you were supposed to do, then they wouldn't have overtaken you. You wouldn't be in captivity. You understand? But now you are, because you didn't do what he told you to do. Read.
And in want, in all things.
No, you skipped a little bit.
Salakia. And hunger.
And what?
And hunger.
We need the oppressor for us to be able to eat. We need them. Without them, we will not eat. Who knows how to butcher a lamb? Who knows how to butcher a chicken? None of you. We have brothers in Isupk who does. But if you had to fend for yourself, you would not be able to do it.
Yeah, right.
Read.
And in thirst.
And in thirst. Who do you have to go to get water? You pay for water. You know that, right? I don't know. I'm pretty sure most black people know that you pay for water.
I got my bill due on the 7th.
Right. like water is managed by your oppressor. Read.
Come. And in nakedness.
Let me go back to the water thing. That was a man who was trying to filter water that was coming out of his gutters or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. He was taking rainwater, filtering it, and was going to drink that water instead of having to use well water or whatever water that was being pumped into his house. And the brother got charges for it. He got charged for it. So don't tell me that water is free. Water is not free. Go try to filter the rainwater and watch what the white man do to you. You're going to be in jail. You're going in shackles if you try to filter water for rain.
Goddamn right.
Go ahead.
Come, sir. and in nakedness,
Mm-hmm.
and in want of all things.
And want of what?
All things.
You're gonna be not only in nakedness, like you're gonna need the oppressor to clothe yourself. You're gonna need him for want of all things in order to live, in order for your kids to go to school, in order for your kids to have a ride to school. They give you a lunch program when you're poor enough. When you're poor enough, your kids can eat in school. You understand? When you're poor enough, your kids can get a ride to school from the bus. Kick your father out of the house, and you can get everything. Black woman can get anything she wants as long as she kick that strong black man out of the house.
Yeah, right.
Anything she wants. That's what we got to start realizing, Black and Hispanic, man. You are so powerful that the only way the oppressor will help Black people is if you leave.
That's right.
If you go, if you get out of the house, do not be what the Lord wants you to be for your family, and he will give your family, your wife and your child, everything she wants. And the Christian pastor will be in the hotel room with her the next weekend.
Damn.
While you sit over there and be dumb because you allowed her to kick you out of the house for a damn link card, man. Some damn school clothes. A little bit of food. That's what we got to start understanding, that this is a warfare. There's a spiritual warfare put on Blacks and Hispanics. And in order for us to get, our families back together, Black men has to be fixed. You can't fix a nation unless you fix Black men.
That's right. Hispanic
men and North American Indian men. Until we're fixed, our family will not be fixed. You understand? Read.
Come. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
And here we go again. The oppressor is going to put a yoke of iron around your neck, which he has done. He did it for 400 years. He put a yoke around you, and here's why the yoke is so important. Because the yoke is something that they put around cattle, and they attach the cattle to another cattle. So wherever this one cattle goes, all cattle goes. This is a steering mechanism. This is how they control these animals into going in the direction they wanted them to go to. This is called a yoke of iron. If you ever look it up, it's a thing around your neck, and they'll attach it to something else to control how you move.
That's a lot. If I may, even if you look at a yolk in the egg, a yolk in the egg, it's made. If you look at the yolk can't go nowhere. The yolk only goes where the outer part allows it to go.
Right.
So a yolk is even confined to whatever the outside allows it to do. So like when they say put a yoke around your neck, and if you're thinking about it, like of course it was a physical part at one point in time, but it's also it's a spiritual part now. That now it's a point where.
Well, that's why I was going to get into it. So, go ahead. You said read that part again.
Come. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
So he's going to put this yoke of iron around your neck. He's going to be able to control wherever you go. Like I said, this yoke of iron was something that was a control mechanism. It was a way that it was something that they used to make sure that they can control the direction you was going in. It was a force of control. Read.
Come until he destroyed thee.
Now, why is that so important? Why is that so important? That he's going to put this yoke of iron around your neck, this thing that they use to control the direction that you go in. And then once he destroys you, he'll take it off. It says until he destroyed you. It says he's going to put this yoke of iron around your neck until you are destroyed. Because just like I said earlier, he don't need to control you anymore. He don't have to control you by force anymore. This yoke of iron is no longer needed. He don't have to direct you in which way you want to go. Now you love the 4th of July. Now you love Thanksgiving. Now you love Christmas. Now you love all of these pagan holidays that they have brainwashed you into being involving yourself in for all these years. Now the yoke of iron is no longer needed. Now this yoke of iron is no longer needed as a tool to direct you and control you into a place where you need to be. You understand? Read.
God. Until he have destroyed thee. Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
A nation against thee from where?
From far. Read. From the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle flight.
As swift as a what?
As an eagle flight.
Now I know I don't have to break down as swift as an eagle flyer. Every oppressor nation their symbol has been the eagle. They learn how to be the predators of the earth. You understand? They've learned how to be the best killers and murderers on the earth. You understand? Read.
Oh my God. Whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
You didn't know English before you got here. You didn't know how to speak English. Mexicans, you did not know how to speak Spanish. Puerto Ricans, you didn't know how to speak Spanish. Y'all didn't know. Y'all wasn't Spanish speaking people before you were put in bondage. You understand? And this is what I tell brothers and sisters all the time. You know, if you don't say, I told this Hispanic brother, one of the Isupk brothers, Lockett, one of the Isupk brothers, just the other day, we was talking, and he said something so deep to me. He said something so deep. He said, I said, yeah, you know, because all the Spanish Hispanics. That's what I call. I said, y'all, y'all Hispanics. He was like, well, if I told you, if you gonna call me Hispanic, then I'm gonna call you an English. You an Englishman.
Damn.
Because if you gonna call me my oppressor's name, then I should call you yours. And I said, you know what? I'll never call y'all Spanish again or
Puerto Rican.
Like I'm calling y'all oppressors names when all these things are just languages. You understand? That was the person was that said you don't speak American. Like American ain't even a goddamn language.
Right.
You understand?
That was made by the America Dispute You,
right.
Whatever his name is.
So read, Slocky.
John Khan. Definitely destroy them. Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
These are the same people who hung men, women, children, old people, young people. They had no regard to who they were murdering and slaying in the middle of the streets. Now, back in slavery, in order to catch the minds of blacks, they would hang people down a trail where the black slaves would walk. And these people they would say, leave them up there for 3 days, leave them up there for 4 days, 5 days. So they got to keep walking past them every single day and seeing their uncles, their parents, their sons and daughters hung on this tree. But they still had to do what the master say. They still had to go to work. They still had to do what was told to them. Now think about the trauma that went into having to watch this on an everyday basis. Now we look back 400 years in the future into today's time, and we're doing the same thing. We're watching bodies laid out in the middle of the street on an everyday basis. Okay. We walk down the street and watch our sons and daughters being killed. We watch our old men and women, men of respect, brothers and sisters who supposed to be citizens and good citizens in the neighborhood. We watch them get killed. Yeah, right. The sister in Chicago was supposed to be, she was a police officer, if I'm not mistaken. Kill boys came out here to rob her and end up murdering the sister. These people, these oppressors have no respect of man, woman, child, age, none of that. These people, they're having their Independence Day today, but you think that you're a part of them, even though they know that they're not a part of you. Read.
God. Verse 50, a nation, so like that. Verse 50 of a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old nor the favor of the young. Verse 51, and he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed.
Which means you ain't gonna have nothing. You remember we talked about Black Wall Street? You remember we talked about North Carolina? You remember we talked about Robbins, Illinois, and Illinois? All these places, we had things. We had fruit. We had good fruit for our labors. We built things up. What happened to it? They ate it until we were destroyed. We had nothing else after they were done with us. All those things that we built, all those things that we gained from our hard work, we saw it was no more value left in it after the oppressor did what they had to do to make sure that we lost everything.
It's like, and if I may, it's so heavy because at the beginning of this, I mean, not even at the beginning, it's crazy that the Most High put the curse, a certain curse in front of this one.
Mm-hmm.
The curse he put in front of this was we're gonna have to ask for everything, right? We're gonna have to ask for food, water, and clothes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it said he gonna eat up everything we got. That means even though we asking for clothes, food, water, everything we need from our oppressor, they still gonna eat up the last of what we got. They gonna eat the last of what we have just to continue to destroy us. So like it.
No, you good. If you could go to 1 Corinthians 9:24.
God.
What we got to understand is by us joining a race, we're making a race stronger. We're making their people stronger and declining the power that our people have in the earth. This is something that's very important to the Lord, that we don't come together. This is very important to the Lord, that we don't hold hands with an oppressor.
I mean, that we do come together, so like.
No, that we don't come together with other nations.
Yeah, it's like it.
Like Independence Day is us coming together with the oppressor, with the same oppressor who killed us, who raped our women and children, and killed our fathers and took them out of the household. This is the same one, and you want to hold hands with them. When the Lord said, "This is not how you become independent. This is how you become independent." Read.
Oh God. Verse of 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24.
Let me get that with you. All right.
Oh, know ye not that they which run in a race run all?
No, not that run the race. Every race on the face of the earth, we are running a race. And this race is who's going to be on top. Who's going to run the earth? Who's going to be supreme on the earth? We're all running the race. So for us to join the race with them, that means even if we're ahead, we'll fall.
So like,
we'll trip. Even if we're running in the race and we're ahead, we'll trip and fall just so the oppressor can win. That's us joining them. Us joining them means by any means necessary, they have to be ahead. Go ahead.
I ain't meaning to cut you off. I just wanted to read it the right way. I actually read it the wrong way because I just read it. It had a question mark at the end. So if I may, Baba Kashak, could I start it over and read it the right way?
Go ahead, you got it.
Con, sir. Know ye not that they which run in the race run all, but one receiveth the prize?
Now, this is the crazy part about it. He's asking the question like, shouldn't you know this? Like, you don't understand that everybody's running a race. There's only one person gonna get the prize. This is a question that was given because some people didn't understand the concept of what running a race is. And what is the prize? Well, we'll tell you once we get through the scripture. Go ahead.
So run that ye may obtain.
What?
So run that ye may obtain.
Now, this is talking to the Israelites. He's saying run the race so you can obtain the same prize. This prize that's being received by somebody, we supposed to be running it. And run ye all, which means all of us should be running it. Everybody thinks that everything is personal with the Lord. If everything was personal with the Lord, then Christ would have returned already. If one man can if one man can change the Lord's mind, then we would have been Christ would have been here because Commander Junior Hunter is doing the job that he's been told to do.
Right.
You understand? If that was the case, then the Christ would have, who the world ignorantly calls Christ, who we call Yahweh Shai, had already came back and redeemed his people. But we all have to run this race. We all have to run the race to get this prize. Read.
It's like, if I'm
go ahead, you got it.
And that's just so heavy because it's talking about also. They say, but one receiveth the prize, so run that ye may obtain it. Like our people want to be equal.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have no they have no like inkling to want to run a race. All they want to do is try to be like, if they could, they would. If they got to the finish line, they would grab the oppressor's hand and run in.
Let's
with
run
them
in.
at the
Let's
same
run
time.
in together. Photo finish.
You know what I'm saying?
Photo finish.
The problem is the oppressor wouldn't do that for them. An African wouldn't do that for them. An Arab wouldn't do it for them. A Pakistani wouldn't do it, or East Indian would never do that for them. But the problem is we have so much compassion. You know what I'm saying, that we feel like that's why it was so heavy that Commander Jeremy Hunter said this one day. He said, even if we did run the world, if we ran the world, we would never be as heinous as our oppressors is to us.
Mm-hmm.
We would never be that heinous because of the fact that we do have a good heart. We have a heart,
Mm-hmm.
or we have a mind that say, how will his kids feel? How will his mother feel? How will his father feel? How would our oppressor don't care how our family feel when they kill us in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Our oppressor don't care, how it feel when they fire us from jobs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because we took an extra 1 minute off an extra 1 minute of break. You know what I'm saying? Like, our oppressors don't care about us the way we care about everybody else in the world. And that's why it's so hard for us to win this race, because we want to be equal in the race. But our oppressors are trying to win this joint.
Damn right. Damn right. Go ahead. You can read some more.
Verse 25. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things.
And every man who striveth for the mastery, you have restraint with all things. Anything that will stop you from winning the race, you have the restraint on that. If you want to be the master of anything, you have to have restraint on going out to the club and drinking. If you want to be the best in your field, you have to restrain yourself from all things. It's going to stop you from winning whatever race that you're running.
And that'd be the pastors too, Salami.
Damn right. That's the Christian church. The Christian church, you have to restrain from them. You have to restrain from following these disgusting holidays that some of you are celebrating right now. You have to restrain from these things. In order to win the race, we have to restrain from this. Read.
Oh God. But we incorruptible.
No, you at now. After temperate in all things. Salaki.
No, I'm on Salaki, I'm on 25. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown. That's
right. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown. Right. You was at the end.
Oh, Salaki, sir.
Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown. You understand? The Christian pastor does it so he can retain a corruptible crown, a crown that is corrupted, one that has the reason that you are in the position that you're in is through corruption. The Christian pastor has corrupted you. He's gained his crown by saying that you don't have to follow laws. You understand? The senator and your statesman, any one of your statesmen, governors that's black or Hispanic, they've gained their crown by corruption, by deceiving you. But here's the crown you want to gain. Read.
But we incorruptible.
You want to gain an incorruptible crown. Christ has an incorruptible crown.
What's an incorruptible crown?
An incorruptible crown is you are a leader that cannot be corrupted. You understand? Commander General Hanna has, and I can't deem him having a crown, but from what I've witnessed and what I've seen, I can only imagine that when Christ returns, he would get a crown, of incorruptible crown. You understand? And be one of the rulers of, the righteous men who runs the earth. Now, at the end of the day, there's many men that learns under the footsteps of Commander General Hanna. I pray that all my brothers can get incorruptible crowns. That's right. And I pray that every black man who hearkens into the voice of the Lord and comes to the school and finds a way to do the work of the Lord for your people, retain an incorruptible crown. Because the world right now is filled with men with corruptible crowns. And we've been following it for 400 years. And now it's time for the real prophets and priests of the Lord to start to build their people up in order to gain an incorruptible crown. You understand? Read a little bit more.
Come on, sir. Verse 26. I, therefore, so run, not as uncertainty. So likely. not as uncertainly.
Mm-hmm.
So fight. Salakia. If I could I start that from the beginning? Verse 26. I just want to make sure the brothers get it the right way. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly. So fight I, not as one that beateth the air.
What does it mean that I therefore so run, not as uncertainly? What does uncertainly mean? To be certain,
I ain't doing it for no reason.
Right? That you know why you're doing it. Okay, and then it says, "So fight I." So I fight, and then it says, "Not as one that beat the air." What does it mean to beat the air?
Like I'm not going. Beat a lost cause. Like, what am I?
You're doing it for nothing.
Yeah, I'm doing it for nothing.
You're doing it. Anybody who beats up there, have you ever saw a person swinging and they're hitting nothing? They're just swinging. You're fighting somebody, you're swinging but hitting nothing. It's for no cause. You're fighting for nothing. You understand? Read.
Come. That ye may obtain, verse 26. It's like in verse 25. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown.
We're on 27.
Oh, Salakia, I'm on 26. Salakia.
We did. That's beat at the air. Go to 27.
27. Salakia, sir. Verse 27. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means.
What does it mean? But I keep under my body. Now you think in terms of how we speak.
I'm holding it in.
You know how some people like stay in your body.
Yeah.
You out your body.
Yeah.
He said I'm keeping it under my body, so he's staying grounded. Go ahead.
And bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway.
Good night. So we're gonna end the class with that. Once again, this is the Isupk, started out in 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. This is the Isupk Southern Illinois Brotherhood class. We appreciate everybody who tuned in. Again, we have the Midwest Fire Weekend that's happening Thursday, July 27th, and then it ends on July 30th with the Midwest Fire Weekend Cookout for all Blacks, Hispanics, North American Indians. Again, big ups to Commanding General Yohana and Captain Mawquad for hosting this Fire Week, Midwest Fire Weekend. It goes down every year. One other note: Roundtable with Truth is every Friday. It starts at every Friday at 8 p.m. until. Also, we have the latest podcast that happens every first Sunday at 12 noon until 2 p.m. And that's every first Sunday. Tune in, and of course, Black Watch is every Monday, correct?
Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
Every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Tune in to all the ISUBK channels. Shalom. I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer of 1,000, Ramadan.
Come.